All right. Check it. We finna get right into it. We ain't finna waste no time, man. I got a lot to talk about, man. Let's go. Prayer. Lord, uh, I come before you right now, just giving you thanks, glory, honor. Lord, we want to enter your gates with thanksgiving and your courts with praise. Like always, you are most worthy of all praise, all honor, all blessing, all glory go to you. We thank you for your son Jesus, who is our Lord and Savior, the King and the head of our life. We give you praise. We thank you, Jesus, for what you've done for us. We thank you, Jesus, for what you've done for us, what you're yet doing, moving, working in our life, sustaining us, keeping us, all that. And Lord, I just ask you to give me your words. I ask you, let it be your spirit. Let me get this phone right, man. Lord, I pray that it be your spirit speaking through me, inspiring me, guiding me, giving me what to say. May it be your spirit, man. Hey, we not finna trip on that. How come it ain't never tripped like that before? But but Lord, we pray that it be your spirit speaking through me. I ask you to give me your words, your thoughts. Let your heart and your mind be revealed to me and through me. I ask you to give me what you'd have me to say. Let me open up my mouth and speak as your oracle. Don't let it just be me talking out of self, out of flesh. But I pray it be your spirit speaking through me, giving me what to say, inspiring me. And yeah, in Jesus' name. All right. I'm finna get right to it, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna stall you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get right into it, man. Say, man, this week, man, Tuesday to be exact, man, I feel like, hey, I feel like God showed me that Trump was the Antichrist, man. And I've been wrestling with this all week because what you got to understand, I ain't never been a Trump hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm into politics, but like I don't really take sides or none of that. I don't pledge allegiance to no political party, but I feel like God revealed to me that Trump is the Antichrist. Now, hey. Let me give you the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? I've been wrestling with it all week. It was on Tuesday. The same way that God reveals stuff to me out the Bible is the same way that he revealed this to me. Like it's like a light bulb come on, man. It's like a light bulb come on. But first off, let me hit on this point. You know, I was pushing real hard that I felt like Obama was not an antichrist, but I felt like Obama was the antichrist. And but I felt that in my own heart. But what really sparked that was all these people having these dreams about Obama being the Antichrist. And I believe in revelation through dreams and stuff like that. And I held on to that until Tuesday. But I'm gonna tell you this about dreams. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stick with the word though. Because a lot of people have dreams about a pre-tribulation rapture. It's a whole bunch of people say they done had dreams about the rapture, which I agree with the rapture. I just don't agree with the pre-tribulation part. And it's because of the word that I don't agree. Matthew 24, that's the only reference I'm gonna give you right now, because this ain't about that. But Matthew 24, it lets you know how all these things gonna happen. Then it said, after the tribulation of those days, then it said he gathered his elect from one side of heaven to the other. So you see the rapture, but it's after the tribulation. That's just Matthew 24. That's all I'm gonna give you. I'm not going into all that because this ain't what this about. But but yeah, you know what I mean? So a lot of people had dreams about that, but you can't always follow people's dreams. Deuteronomy 13, even if it's a lot of people having the same dream, that's still not a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but like so I felt that about Obama because of people's dreams, and then he did push an antichrist agenda. You know what I mean? He pushed abomination and, you know, what some people would call freedom, but we call it abomination. Abortion, gay rights, as far as like gay marriage, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Gay marriage, abortion, all that. He pushed that. So he pushed the antichrist, anti-biblical agenda. You know what I mean? So he was an antichrist, but I felt like he was the antichrist, but I don't feel like that no more. So I do apologize, Mr. Obama, Barack Obama, for accusing you of being the antichrist. That's a personal apology from me. But I still feel like you push the antichrist agenda. You know what I'm saying? But hey, okay, but now, hey, I feel, but I never had a personal revelation. I just felt it, right? I feel like I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, cuz the times that we're in the times of fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? The things that's spoken about the end times. This is the time of fulfillment, man. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you this. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but I feel like God revealed it to me on Tuesday that Trump is the antichrist, not an antichrist, but the antichrist. And I ain't been arguing with nobody about politics. I ain't really been discussing politics with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got in my ear. You know what I'm saying? This is what came to me directly from the Lord, or at least what I feel like came to me directly from the Lord. Like I get all my revelation from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. I'm human. I might have, maybe it was a demon posing as an angel. Maybe I just got a thought in my mind. I could be wrong. But let me let me get into this message though. I'm gonna give you some stuff, man. I'm gonna give you some stuff to think about, man. Okay. All right, yeah. So this what this about. And matter of fact, I feel like Trump is the Antichrist, and y'all might not know nothing about dude, but they call him MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. I feel like he the Antichrist. Now that's me putting that together with my mind. But I feel, hey, I'm just gonna give you this my hypothesis. This is my hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? Like a scientist, they have a hypothesis of how they think the experiment is gonna go and how they think it's gonna turn out. Hey, this is my hypothesis. And I'm gonna give you the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, cause I had thought about it, you know, when the head wound thing came out, I thought about it, and then I thought for a second, then I immediately dismissed it, right? But then, boom, God brought it back to me, just like boom, like in a blink of an eye, a revelation just hit your mind. Okay, so let me get into it, man. Let me get into it, cause I think it's Trump though. I think it's Trump, man. Hey, I think it's Trump. Okay, now, let me start off, man. I got like 14 things right here, man. I got like 14 different things. And it's just something to think about. I'm not trying to turn everybody against Trump because I would still never vote. I would never vote for the Democrats as long as they pushing what they pushing. I would never vote for them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably still I'm still gonna vote for Trump because you know what? The stuff about the Antichrist, it's gonna happen regardless. Ain't no stopping it. Yeah, I mean, I could vote for the RFK dude, but he sure ain't finna win. That's a wasted vote. I ain't finna vote for RFK because he ain't finna win. I could never vote for Kamala pushing what they push. That's really the reason Trump gonna win because a lot of people support the Democrats. A lot of people agree with that a woman should have the right to abortion if that's what she want to do. A lot of people feel like homosexuals should be able to get married if that's what they want to do. But this where they gonna lose people at the transgender stuff because that's a step further. You know what I'm saying? That's another step further. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if gay people get married, okay. But then the transgender thing, that's another step. That's another step in the perversion and confusion. beyond just homosexuality or homosexual marriage. This transgenderism, that's a whole nother step. That's a whole nother step beyond that into perversion and confusion. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Bible say. That is confusion. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's where they going, cause it's like a common sense thing. Like Trump and them be talking about, it's like a common sense. Like America, like this what we doing? Like this what we doing? Like I think they gonna lose people with the transgender stuff, and they push it on the kids. They say that they trying to raise up a generation that's non-judgmental, right? But you pushing it on them. You know, stuff that wouldn't even be in their mind. Now it's in their mind. And now that it's in their mind, some will choose that path. Whereas the previous generation wasn't even exposed to that type of lifestyle at that age. And now you exposing them and making that an option while they children. So some gonna pick that path because it's being exposed to them at such an early age before they even really develop. You gonna make people think that they transgenders. You know what I'm saying? When they wouldn't have even struggled with that, but you putting it in their face. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I think I think the transgender stuff is like where a lot of people gonna draw the line though. Like, come on now, like this what we doing. But anyway, I think Trump gonna win. But if I vote for him and he does turn out to be the Antichrist, I ain't tripping because it was written that this gonna happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I think Trump the Antichrist though. But check this out. I'm gonna start number one, man. Pride. Even in 2016, I was supporting Trump, but I said, yeah, pride is his issue. Pride is his issue, but pride was also the devil's issue. You know what I'm saying? Daniel 11:36 and 37, 2 Thessalonians 2:4, Daniel 8:25, a mouth speaking great, boastful, arrogant things. See, we be overlooking a lot of stuff, but hey, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Pride is the number one thing of the devil. You know what I'm saying? The number one thing that Trump got is pride. Is pride. Okay. Number two is related to number one. It says the mouth of a lion. What's that? Revelation 13, verse 2 through 6. Daniel chapter 7, verse 8, verse 20, verse 25. But it really said in Revelation 13, verse 2, or somewhere, Revelation 13, verse 2 through 6. He said he had the mouth of a lion. Now in Daniel chapter 7, let me see. Now you got the leopard, you got the bear, you got the lion, and I think it was something else, but it was like four kingdoms. Hold up, let me go to Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. Oh no, nah, then you had the fourth kingdom. Hold up. All right, Daniel chapter 7. You had the lion, you had the bear, you had the leopard, and then you had the fourth kingdom that was it just says you had the fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. Okay, so the fourth beast is the final world kingdom in Daniel chapter 7. But he had remnants of all these other kingdoms. Uh um the leopard was Greece. I done heard like an old interview where Trump was making um reference to Alexander the Great and the MBS from Saudi Arabia. The a guy had did a 60 minutes, and he was talking about dude, and he said he wanted to be like Alexander the Great. So anyway, but the leopard was Greece, the bear was Persia or Medo Persia, and then the lion was Babylon. Babylon was past, but Babylon is also now. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Hey, just give me time. Let me flow. Let me get in. Let me flow. Let me get into this. Okay, but it said he had the mouth of a lion. The lion was Babylon, right? So you got old Babylon, but you got mystery Babylon, which is New York City, the city, but it's representation of the U.S. Okay, so he's the mouth of America, but also the mouth of a lion represents boldness, courage. He ain't scared to say nothing. Trump ain't scared. He really not scared of nothing, right? He not scared of nothing. He not scared to say what he want to say, and that's another thing that I liked about Trump, like, cause he was human, but he stand on business. He's a courageous man. He gonna say what's on his mind. He gonna say what he feel like saying. Like, he not gonna try to be politically correct and all that. So that's really something I like about him. But it said he got the mouth of a lion. He speaks. He's a courageous man, brave man, and you can tell that by the way he speak. Okay, but it say he speaks a lot of arrogant, proud, offensive things that don't really have to be said though. Pride, you know what I'm saying, and he speaks out of pride a lot. Okay, hey, we gonna start small, but I'm finna jump to something big right here though. The third thing was the son of perdition. Okay, so Judas was referred to as the son of perdition in John 17:12. But then the Antichrist is referred to as the son of perdition in Second Thessalonians 2:3. Okay, now this is a note that I got. This person gains the trust or the confidence of the people, especially Christians, then turns on them for his own agenda. So it's an act of betrayal. You have the people thinking that you working for them, but you really got your own agenda. Hey, I think it could be. I think that could be the situation. You know, he you know what I'm saying? He say it's all about America and this and that. Like, you have to decide for yourself if you really trust them like that. Psalms 146:3. You know what I'm saying? He said, don't put your confidence in princes. That's people that's rulers, government, you know what I'm saying? People that come to positions of power. You can't put your trust in them, man, but it really just depends on the person. But you have to decide if you trust them like that. But give me Psalms 146:3, man. It says, put not your trust in princes. That's talking about rulers, people in positions of authority. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, which is a human being, in whom there is no help or no salvation. You know what I mean? But see, all the Christians support him. Now, if you just look at the issues that he stand on, you're right to support him. You know what I'm saying? Because if the other side is pushing this agenda and these the issues, this is where they stand on issues, and this is where Trump stand on issues, you have every right to support Trump. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you have to look at a person's heart and look at their character. Like, you just have to decide if you know what I'm saying? Like, if you think he's beyond betrayal, if you think he's beyond betraying you, hey, if you think he's beyond betraying you, then you know you a fool. You know what I'm saying? What you can do is continue to be in prayer. You know what I'm saying? What you can do is continue to be in prayer though. But if you just trust this man so much that you feel like he would never betray you, like, hey man, hey man, cause he not saved. You'll know him by their fruits. He's not saved, bro. So just know that. But you don't a person don't necessarily have to be saved to push God's agenda, right? Like King Cyrus. So, but at the same time, hey, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna get back on that. That's one of my that's one of my points, but I ain't there yet. But hey, the thing about Judas was he betrayed Jesus. the thing about the Antichrist, he gonna betray the people that help put him in power. The people that help get him in power, he gonna betray them. Cause they gonna think he really got their best interests in mind, and he gonna have his own agenda. And now there is that one guy that prophesied. He didn't say no names, but he said that God showed him that the person that win the election, once he get in office, he gonna betray the people. But he never said who was gonna win. He just said the person. So I automatically jumped like, well, he talking about Trump, and I didn't agree. I really kind of felt the type of way. To be honest with you, I really felt the type of way about that. But hey, God, I feel like God showed it to me. You know, so that's how I am. I don't care if you say you got a word from the Lord. Like, I'm not just gonna take your word, and I'm not even gonna necessarily take it to the Lord. I'm just gonna see how I feel about it when the word go forth. Cause people are always saying like, "Hey, take this word back to the Lord." Like, hey, man, like, hey, it depends on how I feel when the word go forth. Because it said when Jesus was walking with them guys from Emmaus, Luke 24, it said they heart burned within them while he spoke the word. So they didn't have to go back and take it to the Lord. And you know what I'm saying? Because if it don't line up with Bible, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna know off the muscle. Nah, that ain't Bible. I'm probably gonna know that off the top. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a prophetic word or something, like I just go by how I feel. And if I don't feel right, I just dismiss it. I ain't gonna be like, well, I ain't gonna lie. I might, if it's a word that I don't agree with, I might take it back to the Lord. Be like, God, what you got to say about that? But that word didn't really have nothing to do with me. That had to do with the election. And I already had in my mind who I'm supporting and all that. So when that word came forth, I really just dismissed it. And I was like, nah, Obama the one betrayed the people, so I dismissed that word. But God brought it back to me. When God showed me what he showed me, and then I seen it in the word, both of them is referred to as the son of perdition. What did the son of perdition do? What did Judas do? He betrayed. He betrayed somebody. You know what I mean? So now I feel like Trump is gonna betray the people. I believe he gonna betray the Christians. The Christians that look at him as really doing the work of the Lord, and he really riding for us, and he really riding for God. I feel like he gonna betray us, and the Christians are the main ones who gonna sound the alarm when this final world empire and all that comes into being. The Christians gonna be the main one. Hey, that's the Antichrist. Nah, don't take the mark. That's the Antichrist. The Christians gonna be the main one sounding the alarm, pointing them out. But if you can get the Christians to trust you, then they not gonna be able to sound the alarm on you because they're deceived as well. So who gonna be able to sound the alarm? It's gonna be very few people that's really sounding the alarm, because the ones that would sound the alarm are deceived with the rest of the masses. And like I said, I was never a Trump hater. I always looked at the issues to see who I'm gonna rock with. At least since 2008, had to make history one time. Just wanted to see Obama in office, you know what I mean? But after that, you know what I'm saying, I got back, you know what I'm saying, I came back to my senses, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't never been a Trump hater. I'm telling you though. You know what I'm saying? I believe Trump gonna betray the people just like the son of perdition did. Just like the first son of perdition, which was Judas. So I believe the Antichrist gonna betray the people once he get in power. Okay. That's that. They both referred to as the son of perdition, Judas and the Antichrist. Okay. Then I also got John 17:12, 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Then I got Daniel chapter 8, verse 23 through 25, and Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. That's that last covenant that's made. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna give you what I think how it's gonna go too. World War III is up. Israel got their foot on their neck, and Israel pushing a hard line. and Israel is on offense real strong. They not even they on defense too, but they on offense. They not letting up on Hamas and Hezbollah. They not letting up. They not letting up on Iran. They not letting up on Lebanon. It's up. Israel already, like when you put somebody to the limit and they like, even if you try to act peaceful, like nah, it's still up like that. So Israel is pushing the line like it's up. You know, they not even waiting on them to respond. They still hitting them. You know what I mean? So eventually they gonna have to do something. They trying to make them wait and keep them in suspense, and Israel still going on offense. You know what I mean? They pressing the line. So it's up. You know what I mean? It's up. So, you know what I'm saying? Other nations liable to get into it, and it's gonna escalate even more. But it's gonna end up turning into World War III. And then it's and in World War III, New York gonna get hit. In World War III, you gonna see Revelation 18 happen. New York gonna get hit during World War III. Then it's gonna be a peace plan. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and during World War III, the economy gonna collapse. During World War III, New York gonna get hit in a major way, blowed up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long from now, but it's gonna be as part of World War III. You know what I'm saying? World War III is these the beginning stages. It's up. But once everybody get involved in picking sides and all that, New York gonna get hit during World War III, and the economy gonna collapse during World War III. So all this is gonna lead to peace talks. You know what I'm saying? Peace talks within the nations. It's gonna lead to peace talks. It's gonna lead to the formation of this one world government and one world economy. And I believe Trump gonna end up being the head over it. And I believe the dude from Saudi Arabia controlling the oil, the one who all the world leaders tap in with, all the world leaders done tapped in with dude. I believe he gonna be the false prophet to get the Muslim world to join in to the one world government and the one world economy. He gonna get the Muslim world to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And that's how they gonna rock. And then it's gonna be a peace agreement. It's gonna be a two-state solution, Palestine and Israel. And Israel, because they forced to give up some of their land, they gonna let them build the third temple on the Temple Mount, or somewhere in that area. It ain't gonna take the place of the Dome of the Rock, the Muslim temple that they got there, but somewhere in that vicinity, in that area, somewhere close by, they gonna allow the Jews to build a third temple. All this stuff is conspiracy though. Okay, check it. All right. So that's that. That's that. Okay, number four, the head wound, Revelation 13:3. I used to think it was a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you my breakdown of Revelation 13 though. I used to feel like it said the deadly head wound. I used to think that it was like a kingdom that had seemingly been destroyed and that kingdom rose back. That's part of it too. Revelation 17 tell you that the beast that once was, yet is not, and yet is. See, that beast is Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Or you could say Babel, because Babel was the first, the only one world government empire. You know what I'm saying? Then he broke everything up. But the end time world empire is gonna be a one world government. The first one world government was when they was building the Tower of Babel, and God broke it up, scattered everybody, confounded the languages. So the last world empire is gonna be like the first. It's gonna be a one world. It's gonna be a one world thing, right? Or you could say Babylon. You know what I'm saying? There's old Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. He created an image, want everybody to worship it. The final world empire is Babylon. Well, no, not Babylon. But it got a lot of. That's one of my points though. Babylon would be in New York City, but it represents America. The king of Babylon, which is gonna be Donald Trump once again, he gonna end up creating an image. If you don't worship it, Okay. But anyway, the head wound, Revelation 13:3. I used to think it was a nation or a kingdom or empire. I think it's I think it's a literal head wound though. Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Now the thing about the beast is the beast got different definitions. The first time in verse 1, when it says I saw a beast coming up out of the sea, that's a final world empire. But then if you read verse 4, it says, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. See, when verse 4 and 5, when it says beast, it's talking about the person. And then like verse 12, 13, 14, when it says beast, the rest of the references to beast, I believe, is a person. The person that's the head of the empire. The person that's the head of the final world empire. Beast. But anyway, Revelation 13:3, the head wound. I believe that's the beginning of miracles or supernatural workings that you're gonna see. You know what I mean? And then also, well, let me try to go in order. But you got to remember with Judas, uh Judas was not he wasn't a true believer, but he wasn't possessed by Satan the whole time. John 13:2 and verse 27 let you know when Satan entered into him. But he wasn't just full of the devil the whole time. He wasn't saved. He said he was stealing money out the bag. So he wasn't a man of integrity. He was never, you know what I'm saying? He was never a morally in he wasn't he didn't have integrity. He wasn't living the life, what we should say. He wasn't living a righteous life the whole time he was with Jesus. He's stealing money out the bag and all that. But Satan didn't enter into him until it was time for him to really do what he did, betraying Jesus and all that. Same thing with the Antichrist. Like Trump, we agree, Christians agree with Trump, and Trump, he stands on the side of issues that Christians stand on, right? But he's not really a moral, he's not a saved person. He's not living a righteous life, man. I don't think righteousness and salvation, I don't think that's in him. You know what I'm saying? But he does agree with Christians as far as the issues are concerned, but he's not like us. he not he's not a Christian, man. But you know what I'm saying? He not a Christian. But the devil hasn't entered into him yet. If you know what I'm saying. Like the devil hasn't embodied him yet. You know what I mean? But there's gonna come a turning point when you know what I'm saying? Probably, you know what I'm saying? The devil hadn't entered into him yet, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the head wound, I think, is the beginning of miracles. Second Thessalonians 3 say you're going to see a lot of supernatural power regarding the Antichrist. Let me read that scripture. Let me read that scripture. It says, with all power and deceivableness, lying wonders and all that. So let me read that. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. And then it got some other stuff. But so you gonna see signs and wonders, lying wonders. So you know the head wound, it could have been the work of Satan, or it could have been God sparing his life. But even if God spared him, hey, what did he say about Pharaoh in in Romans I wrote that down. I got so many notes, cuz man, I got so many notes. But in it's Romans 9 something where he talk about raising up Pharaoh. He said, I raised up Pharaoh, but I raised him up for this purpose, that I might show my power on the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you want to say it was a lying wonder in the work of Satan, or whether you want to say God spared his life, God is, you know what I'm saying, allowing him to be raised up for this purpose. This has to happen. We Everybody say the spirit and the bride say, come, even so, come, Lord Jesus. You can say all that, but we got to get through this before we can get to that. You can't get to the second coming of Christ without going through this. So this has to happen. You know what I mean? So either way you want to look at it, you know what I mean? But I don't, hey, I feel that man, the Antichrist. But and like I said, I ain't never been a Trump hater or nothing. But I have looked at Trump in a different view than what I have been looking at him previously this week, since God revealed that to me. Once he revealed that to me, that's what made me, look at the other side of Trump. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna idolize him no way, because I knew he wasn't saved. Even if somebody is saved, they can still go left. They can still go backwards. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? But hey, but okay, anyway. Okay. Anyway, oh yeah, Romans 9:17. That was the scripture. But where he say, I raised up Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? For my purpose though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Okay, the next point is peacemaker. I heard Trump say, I can't remember what he said, if I'm the only president or like the only president in recent history. And I don't know if this was because I don't know how long ago it was he said it, but he said something along the lines like, I'm the only president recently, or something like that, that haven't started a war. So he's coming in like a peacemaker, and I believe he gonna be the one to make the peace in World War III. I believe he gonna be the main one that helps bring forth a peace agreement to end World War III. I believe Trump gonna be one, and like I said, you don't have to believe me, but believe, like Jesus said, you might not believe I'm him, but believe me for the very work's sake. And this is where the proof gonna be in the pudding. We just gotta watch and see how all this stuff turn out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you this: don't 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 put nobody on no pedestal. Like, it don't matter who it is, you gonna have to judge them by their fruit. And it's a lot of stuff that have to unfold. So a lot of people, whoever the Antichrist is, there's a whole lot of stuff that's got to unfold. And when all this stuff start unfolding, we all going, if you a real one, you gonna recognize them after a while, because the actions is what's gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't got some spiritual covering over your mind, when all it, because ain't, there's a lot of stuff that hadn't unfolded yet. You know what I'm saying? So, but as time go on, stuff is gonna unfold. And don't be so blind that if this stuff starts to unfold and this is the person behind it all, that you can't recognize what that means. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can't idolize nobody, because if you idolize somebody, the all this stuff is gonna start happening, and you still ain't gonna be able to recognize what's going on, because you got a person so uplifted in your heart and in your sight. So don't idolize nobody, and look at the fruit, look at their actions, because the actions is what's gonna tell. I can tell you that Trump's the Antichrist all day, but all this stuff is gonna have to unfold. But don't let it unfold before your eyes and you still don't believe. Jesus said, you done seen all the works that I did and you still don't believe. I done did miracles nobody else did, you still don't believe. You've seen me, and you've both seen and hated both me and my Father. Stuff like that. Like, don't see it and still not believe it. You know what I'm saying? Cause hey, but anyway, I believe Trump is gonna be the main person that's pushing peace and helping the broker and come up with a peace agreement for World War III. And it's gonna end up in a one world government, one world economy, and I believe Trump gonna be over the head. I believe Trump gonna be the head of it, and I believe the crown prince of Saudi Arabia gonna be the false prophet, and he gonna be the one to bring in the Muslim world. And it's not gonna be so much about religion as it is economy and money and economy. I believe it's probably gonna start off like a good idea, a optional type of thing, but then after a while, he gonna put the clamp down and say, man, if you hadn't joined this thing, then you gonna be excluded. You know what I mean? Just like you got a driver's license number, a social security number, a bank account number. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to get your number for that final world system. You know what I'm saying? And it's hey, I'm telling, and I know it's about money. 666, man. Solomon, it said the gold that he was getting every year was 666 talents. That's your key right there. So the number of his name, it had to do something with money. It's like a bank account number. You're gonna have to take the number of his name. If you don't take his mark or don't take his name, you got to take the number of his name. That's that final world system, that final world economy. The 666, it represented money in the Old Testament. It's going to represent money in the final world empire. That's why I say you can't buy or sell. I'm telling you, it's an economic thing. The money is what make the world go round. The money is what's gonna make everybody be a part of it. Cause I can have my religion, you can have your religion, and that's what it is. But when it comes to a one world economy, that's gonna pull everybody in, unless unless you know what's going on and you choose to suffer that persecution and that inconvenience of not being a part of that system. But that's the ones who really know what's going on. Everybody else, they gonna have their religion, but they gonna be a part of that system though. I bet you that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but Trump was saying something basically like he was I don't know when he said this, but it was after his first term. So it could have been anywhere from like what? Anywhere between 2021 to now. But he said something like, I'm the only president that didn't start a war. I don't know if he included Biden in that, because I don't think Biden them started no war. But he was like, I was the only president to not start a war. So he already on some peace stuff. He already claiming to be a peaceful person, a peacemaker. Okay. And then Daniel chapter 11, verse 39, Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. He gonna be the man with the plan to make peace at the end of World War III. And I believe he gonna be the main one that bring forth that deal with the peace agreement, probably with Israel and Palestine, or with Israel and something. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a peace agreement. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he gonna be the main one to broker that. Okay. Okay, the another thing, the Illuminati cards. You know what I'm saying? That conspiracy stuff is real, man. Illuminati cards. First is the enough is enough. Man, they had all these different references of Trump saying enough is enough, and then Hulk Hogan was supporting Trump and he said enough is enough. Then they showed the Illuminati card that looked like the bullet wizard. Come on, man, stop it. It looked like the bullet going by. Man, come on, man. It said enough is enough. Said something about our snipers can take you down at any time. Conspiracy stuff, man. But then here go the other card. Ain't too many people saying nothing about the charismatic leader card. It looked like Trump. The charismatic leader, the Antichrist, man. The charismatic leader. It looked like Trump from the back. All right, man. Okay. Y'all don't believe in that kind of stuff. All right, all right. Hey, another thing, man. Trump is a political plant. He didn't have no experience, no background, no history in military or politics. He came out of nowhere. Like, you know how a certain rapper would seem like they come out of nowhere and they be like, he's an industry plant. Trump is a political plant. Trump is a political plant. He came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? He came out of nowhere. No political history. Who does that? And then look at the cult following that he has. And I'm not just talking about standing on righteousness. I'm talking about like people losing their minds, like January 6th, the stuff with the Capitol building, and like, come on, man, like that's not in the name of righteousness. Jesus our Lord, he got crucified. We didn't riot. Peter wanted to. Peter was a gangster. But Jesus like, nah, shut that down. He told Peter, chill out, you know what I mean? But our leader was taken out, but we didn't riot. That ain't that rioting and all that, that wasn't of God. You know what I mean? So he got Christians following him. Christians are big supporters of him, but he got some other folks too that's on some other stuff. You know what I mean? But he's a political plant. So how could somebody just become president and have a following out of nowhere? It's supernatural. And you can think you might think it's God or not. Or, you know, hey, I'm gonna let y'all decide, man. I'm telling you, I looked at it from a whole nother angle, man. I'm telling you, and I had it came in my mind, I thought about it, I dismissed it. Like, nah. God brought it back though. Okay, yeah, he's a political plant. He came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He came out of nowhere. Okay. And I'm gonna go and tell you this. If you think Trump, if you don't think he's connected with them secret societies and all that, you a fool. You know what I'm saying? He one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? He one of them guys, man. He plugged in to them secret societies and all that. I'm telling you, man, it Freemason, something, probably more than that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man, he one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he one of them guys, man. But he a political plant though. Like he came out of nowhere with the following that he's got. Like he got ride or die people like behind him. I'm telling you, he's a political plant. Okay, number 8, a man of wealth to oversee the global economic reset. People listen to you when you got money. And he came in the game with money. You know what I'm saying? And the rich and the powerful, they all connected in secret societies and stuff. Um, what I say, a man of wealth to oversee. Who better than America, the richest nation in the world, even though our money is all messed up, you know what I'm saying, the national debt and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, regardless of what it looked like on paper, America is the richest nation in the world. Even though we don't have all the oil and all that, America the richest nation in the world. You know what I mean? So who better than a rich man from the richest country in the world to oversee the global economic reset? You know what I'm saying? Then I got the number of man 666. 1 Kings 10:14, Revelation 13, verse 17 and 18. You know what I'm saying? The number of the beast represents money. You know what I mean? If you want to be a part of that financial system, if you want to get your number, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part of that system, you're gonna have to get your number, just like a bank account number. But that number is the number of a man, it's the number of the beast, is 666. It's the number of the economy. If you want to be a part of it, you're gonna have to take that number or get your number. It don't mean that it's one number for everybody to take. Everybody gonna have a different number, but that's the number that represents your inclusion in that system. It's like a bank account number. You got to be registered to get that number though. You know what I mean? You want to be a part of that economic system, you got to be registered. You got to sign on. You got to pledge your allegiance and they'll give you your number. You know what I'm saying? But the economy, it's about the economy. Because you're gonna be excluded from the economy, can't buy or sell without it. That's what's gonna make people be a part of it. That's what's gonna make it difficult to not be a part of it. All right, man. All right, all right. And then y'all said false prophet is Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. He the one got all the oil. The economy is tied to the oil. Matter of fact, I learned this today. Venezuela got more oil than the Middle East. How come we don't hear nothing about Venezuela? But that they say they don't like their government, and US got sanctions on them. So we don't really China rock with them, but America, we don't really rock with Venezuela like that. You know what I'm saying? But we rock, everybody rock with Saudi Arabia. You can look on YouTube and see everybody coming to meet dude. Trump done met him. Everybody done met him. Vladimir Putin, the Chinese president, everybody touched base with Mohammed bin Salman from Saudi Arabia. And they don't even got the most oil. They got the second most oil. Venezuela got more oil than they do. But we don't ever hear about that. But everybody touched base with him because but what I think is he's got pull over the whole Muslim world. The flag of Saudi Arabia got the Islamic logo on it, basically. So think about how much power they got within the Muslim world. Now they don't all agree and all that, they got all types of differences and stuff, but at the end of the day, I believe rocking the economy have to do with it's tied to the oil. Even the dollar now, the American dollar is tied to the oil, petrodollar in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? So not only is the economy tied to the oil, it's a bunch of oil in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, but also Saudi Arabia got a whole lot of pull over the Islamic world. And you gotta always respect Islam because they violent. So, you know what I mean? If you can't pull Islam in, then it can't be a one world order. You gotta be able to pull Islam in. The Islamic world is really big in the Middle East and Asia, and you know what I'm saying? Islam is a huge religion and they violent. So if you can't pull them in, then it'd be hard to have a one world, it'll be hard to have a one world empire if you can't pull in the Islamic world. But the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, he gonna be the one to pull in the Islamic world and get them to follow Trump. That's my belief. This is my hypothesis. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, yeah. Free. I said Trump connected in secret societies. All these secret societies is basically a cult. They always end up giving glory to the devil. Jesus said, "I hadn't did nothing in secret. I ain't said nothing in secret." You know what I mean? Jesus, what, John 19, somewhere in there, John 18, 19, Jesus said, "I ain't said nothing in secret, but now you want to come get me." Well, this is your hour in the power of darkness. You know what I mean? But yeah, all that secrecy, we children of the light. You know what I'm saying? We not, you know what I'm saying? We not hiding and sneaking around in the dark and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the occult do. All that secret society, it's all off branches of the occult. At the high levels, it's all occultic. You know what I mean? But yeah, Trump is connected in them secret societies, man. Freemasonry and all them secret societies lead to the occult. He's well connected. If you think, yeah, he one of them guys, man. Oh, I got a good one. This one right here is serious. Daniel 11:37, one of the most disputed scriptures in the Bible regarding the Antichrist. No regard for the desire of women. What does that mean? I done heard many people say that the Antichrist is going to be a homosexual because of that scripture. And then back when I was looking at Obama as the Antichrist, I'm like, nah, that don't mean he gonna be a homosexual, but he could be a supporter and a person to really help advance the gay agenda. Right? Okay, so I was like, okay, yeah, he don't necessarily have to be an Antichrist, but he could be somebody that's really pushing the gay agenda. Okay, but then I heard a Muslim teacher a long time ago, or now an ex-Muslim teacher, he a Christian, Waleed Shubat. He was the first person. They used to say the 10 nation final world empire. It's gonna be a revived Roman Empire. He was the first person I heard say that nah, it's gonna be an Islamic empire. Okay, I don't agree with neither one of those. I think it's gonna be a world empire. But I think you got to look at the nations that got nuclear weapons because that's who got the power. You know what I'm saying? Who got the money and who got the weapons? That's who got the power. So, but I don't think it's gonna be an Islamic final world empire. Because what about China, Russia, U.S., France? You know what I'm saying? They not finna create a final world empire. And what's gonna happen to all these other nations? They just gonna serve them and be up under them? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. But you need the Islamic world because that's where the oil is. You know what I'm saying? And the Islamic world is, they got nukes. Pakistan, Iran trying to get them. Pakistan got them. So, that they got some power on their side. Like, you ain't finna just dominate the Islamic world either. What you gonna have to do is get them to work with you. So it's gonna be a mixture. That's why in Daniel, the iron with the clay. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the Islamic world versus the non-Islamic world. The true Christian is gonna be a very, very much a minority. You know what I'm saying? The true Christian, that's why it's a great falling away. You know what I'm saying? So Christianity is gonna be definitely a minority religion. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a minority religion. It ain't even gonna be a factor in the end time. In the end time world religion, in the end time world empire, Christianity ain't gonna be much of a factor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cause the people, hey, the ones that was claiming to be Christians, but they wasn't really walking with God, they just gonna go with the flow. They gonna follow the Antichrist. You know what I mean? It's only a chosen few real ones that's gonna see through all that and ain't going. And then I think he gonna have a problem with the Jews too. But Israel is part of the final world empire too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is conspiracy. That's part of the last day conspiracy, the Zionist agenda. But I'm not a black Israelite. I'm not a black Hebrew. None of that. But you have to recognize that the creation of the state of Israel, it was a work of God, but it's also part of the conspiracy though. Because the Star of David, do your homework on the 6 point star. That originates from the occult. You know what I'm saying? With the sixes, the hexagon. Come on, stop playing, man. You gotta do your homework, man. The Star of David, it's rooted in the occult. And then they talk about how the Illuminati, that was part of their agenda, the Zionist agenda, because they're into putting sides against each other, and but it was God. It was God, but it also played into their conspiracy, and they let you know that it was a part of the conspiracy just by them having the Star of David as they logo. You know what I'm saying? It lets you know that the devil had a hand in that too, but it was God's plan at the same time. So, like the devil got his mark on that. But yeah, Israel gonna be part of the final world empire too. But God's gonna be working more and more with his people, and then eventually Israel's gonna get outcasted from the final world empire, and Israel gonna be the main focus. You know what I'm saying? Jerusalem. Hey, that's what it's all coming down to. This thing is deep. It's crazy, but it's deep. But anyway, no regard for the desire of women. This means that this man, he's not concerned about women's rights. He's not concerned about pleasing women. That's really what it means. No regard for the desire of women. He not worried about pleasing women. He not worried about giving women what they want. He not worried about catering to women. And you could make it real simple and say he has a lack of respect for women. He has a lack of respect for women. And then I did some homework. Man, this over 20 women that done spoke out against Donald Trump. Sexual harassment, sexual abuse, sexual assault. sexual abuse, sexual assault, sexual harassment. When he won office in 2016, we heard the locker room talk, how he talked about women, groping them, putting his hand on their private parts, and I put the article in the notes about all the women that have came out since the 70s, or stuff that happened since the 70s, all the women that have came out and spoke out against Trump. Yeah. No regard for the desire of women. You can take that how you want to take that, but that's how I take that. He got a long history of just lack of respect for women and sexual misconduct with women. Uh, yeah, since the 70s, over 20 women, and then the hush money thing. You know what I'm saying? I think he was married at the time, cheating on his wife, and then the hush money situation and all that. You know what I mean? Just objectifying women, lack of respect for women. I think that's what you can translate that to when it says no regard for the desire of women, the desire to be respected, treated equally, treated fairly. Like he look at women like they second class citizens. I believe that's what that means. Okay, it's debatable. It's debate. I'm telling you what God showed me, man. Stop playing with me, man. I. Alright. Okay, number 10, I go back to my point. You know him by their fruit. He's not saved, bro. And the thing about Christians, we it's kind of like black people do this too. Like, you wanna you like you want somebody to represent you so bad, like you'll take anything. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, he one of us, but like, what does he really stand for though? Same thing with Christians. Like, Trump's one of us. Like, look at his life though. Like, yeah, Trump's one of us. Like, nah, he not. He not one of us. Like, don't get me wrong though. Like, you know what I'm saying? You not, if you vote for him, it's not because you think he's a Christian. It's just because it's just because you stand, y'all share the same stance on issues. That's what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm still gonna vote for him because I share the same stance on important issues. But I definitely think he the Antichrist. But it's gonna happen anyway, and I would just not vote. But people done died for this. For people done died for this for us to be able to vote, and it's people who can't vote. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, like, hey, don't just get so caught up that you think this man the savior. These is the end times, man. These are the times of fulfillment, man. This stuff that's in this Bible, man, this stuff finna happen, man. This stuff finna happen, man. But anyway, you gotta know them by their fruit, man. Trump is not a, and then they say when the bullet went by him, he said fight, but I don't know if he said fight. I don't know if he said fight or if he said F you. I don't know which one he said, cuz. I don't know if he said fight or if he said F you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know which one he said. But anyway, you got to know him by their fruit, man. You got to know him by their fruit. He not saved, bro. He not saved. And then if you not saved, Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 26 says you can be taken captive by the devil to do his will. You can be taken captive by the devil to do his will. And then there was a point in time, John 13:27, when the devil entered into Judas. You know what I'm saying? In Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 through 20, you know them by their fruit. You know them by their lifestyle. You know what I mean? Now, if you agree with Trump on certain issues, I do. But that don't mean he's saved. And if you ain't saved, who's to say that the devil can't just come along and get in you? You know what I'm saying? And use you to do his will. Okay, okay, number 11. Okay, here go one. Trump says that he said for all the Christians to vote, and then in 4 years you won't have to vote again. What you saying? Now, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, or I ain't gonna say that, but I looked at it from both angles. Like, okay, well, Trump, a president can only run for 2 terms, right? Or a president can only be in office for 2 terms. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, if Trump get elected, this will be his second term. So we won't need to go out and vote for him, but if because he can't run for president, but just because he can't run for president again, if he gets elected, just because he can't run for president again, that doesn't mean that we don't need to go out and vote. We still need to vote for the person who we think is gonna run the country the best. So just because it would be his second term, that don't mean we don't have to go out and vote no more. We still got to go out and vote. You just ain't gonna be on the ballot, but we still need to go out and vote for who gonna run the country the best. So scratch that. He say in 4 years we not gonna have to vote again. What you saying? It ain't gonna be a democracy in 4 years. Ain't gonna be no election. Ain't gonna be no more elections in 4 years. Or the world is gonna be something totally different in 4 years. Or it's gonna be a dictatorship in 4 years. What is you saying? Huh? That's not a good statement. We ain't gonna need to vote in 4 years. Huh? You gonna be locked in office where it ain't gonna be a voting situation no more? Say, man. Hey. I said in my notes, clue of last election. You know what I mean? Even if it is his last term, we would still have to vote for the best leader in the future. So for him to say that, listen to what the man say. Okay. Number 12, Revelation 17:5, Mystery Babylon, New York City, as representation of America. Babylon was the capital of Babylonia. Mystery Babylon, which is New York, represents America. The king of Babylon made an image and demanded worship. Daniel chapter 3, verse 4 through 6. The king or the president or the soon coming king president of current Babylon, which I think is Donald Trump. He gonna be the president. So you could say he's the king of New Babylon, Mystery Babylon. And he gonna end up, I believe he gonna end up demanding people to worship him. Revelation 13, verse 14 and 15. And the false prophet is the one that put him up to it. Because you know what? He's gonna, I believe it's the crown prince of Saudi Arabia as the false prophet. And he gonna tell everybody that Trump is the Almighty. And he gonna get all them to worship him. But you really gonna worship him through that economic system. Everybody not gonna worship him on a religious level. Because you don't have to be religious. All you got to do is sign on to this system, sign on to the economic system. You could be a non-religious person, but you're going to pledge your allegiance because of that economic system. Yeah, and people that are really religious, they going to be on some religious stuff thinking Trump is the Almighty. It's more supernatural stuff to come, though. This is just my hypothesis. This is my hypothesis. But it's still more supernatural stuff to come. He said signs and wonders, lying wonders, not just one, but I think that's the beginning. It's just my hypothesis, man. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying, but I got a hypothesis, and it makes sense to me. But anyway, the king of Babylon, in past Babylon, old Babylon, the king wanted to make everybody worship him, created an image. I believe it's going to happen again. The king of the current Babylon, or he who is going to end up being the king, I believe is Donald Trump. Later on, as he really establishes the one world empire, he going to create an image and cause people to worship him. And the false prophet, he going to have a lot to do with that too. because he gonna be telling them that he's the Almighty. Yeah, I believe that. Um, I said old Babylon took Jews captives, and then the current Babylon, which would represent America, took blacks. Also, Trump is born and raised in NYC, New York City, the current Babylon. All right, man. All right, all right, all right. Okay, 13. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 7 and 8. It says, what it say? The man, it says something about wicked, but I'm gonna tell you what it's translated as. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth, or he who now restrains, will restrain until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed. But that wicked is also translated what? Lawless one. So it says the Antichrist is also called the lawless one. Okay, now let's look at Trump. Issues with women, a lot of that stuff resulted in court cases, lawsuits. Um, he got 34 felonies. Ain't no other president or you know what I'm saying, lawless. Ain't no other president been in legal trouble like that. Not just one felony or DWI or something that them politicians be getting. A lot of politicians be catching DWIs and stuff like that, but he did. This man got 34 felonies. You know what I'm saying? He got all type of legal issues with women, sexual abuse, misconduct, harassment, lawsuits. He got 34 felonies, and I don't even exactly know what that's about. I thought it had something to do with the hush money. He was like lying and like basically maneuvering the money in an illegal type of way. But I don't even know how he got 34 felonies though. Like, I think it got something to do with the money, like doing illegal stuff with the money. But I think it might have something to do with something else too. But you know what I'm saying? He got stuff. He got a bunch of issues with women, sexual misconduct and abuse, and lawsuits and charges and criminal charges. 34 felonies, and I know part of that was the way he was maneuvering his money or whatever. And then January 6th, that was a lawless event. That was a riot. That was an event that demonstrated chaos, anarchy, rebellion. That was a lawless event. So that's the spirit that's in his followers, cult followers. That's not of God. You know what I mean? Because our kingdom ain't even of this world. You know what I mean? So that's lawless. That's a lawlessness that follows him. He got a history of lawlessness. All right, man. Okay, 14. Change times and laws. Okay. Now, like I said last time when I was talking about the Project 2025, I said I got to study it more. That's the danger, the stuff with the executive orders. You know, that's the president. Uh, you know, when you get to working with them executive orders, man, that's you can use them executive orders to do some damage to a democracy. You can use them executive orders to really push your own agenda. And you know, you can appoint all the people that you want to positions of power, and you can strip the ones that you don't want in those positions of power. You can strip the ones, uh, the people that you don't want in them positions of power. You can strip them from that position, and then you can put in the people to positions of power that you want to be, that's gonna support your agenda. Um, the executive orders, you can really use that to push your own agenda. There's a danger of abuse of power. The more power that you have with the executive orders, there's there's more danger of abuse of power. Not to mention the Supreme Court justice appointments, like he put the people in the Supreme Court. But I'm glad about that. That's what overturned the Roe versus Wade. You know what I mean? The abortion stuff. But I'm just taking a note of that. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just taking a note. But because every president had the power to do that. You know what I mean? Daniel 7:25 changed times and laws. But then the Supreme Court passed something recently where the president is immune from prosecution for official acts undertaken in office. So while you in office, you can basically do something, create an executive order or you know what I'm saying, it's an executive decision or whatever, and you can't be prosecuted as a criminal for that act. Hey, I'm telling you, man. Hey, man, we don't know how it's gonna go in the future, but it looked like if Trump is not the man of character that people are thinking that he is, if Trump really got his own agenda, man, ain't gonna be no stopping him from putting it in action. I'm gonna say that. If Trump got his own agenda, ain't nothing gonna be able to stop him from doing what he want to do, because everything is set up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the way he could change times and laws is through executive orders, and the people in the positions of power that he puts in position, the people that he positions in those positions of power to support his agenda, plus the executive orders and the Supreme Court, which is people that he placed in them positions. So if Trump go left, if he go left, ain't gonna be no way to stop him from doing whatever he want to do. But it's not just him. It's not just his own power. It's the power of the evil one that's with him, and it's God allowing it. All right, all right, all right. That's it. So it's like them 14 things. Uh, yeah, that's it. And I really had another message, man. It's called the deceptiveness of God's mercy. Now, God is not deceptive in no type of way, but because God is so merciful and long suffering, you can get the wrong idea about him and think that it's okay for you to keep going the way that you've been going. But I'm gonna leave that alone. I might get to that. I might come back to that, do that next time. That's the message that I had on my heart for like the past 2 or 3 weeks. But in this recent week, he showed me this. But yeah, it's a lot, man. I got World War III. I got New York is hit, economic collapse, then the economic fix, and the peace treaty for World War III. It's gonna result in the one world government, one world economy. There's gonna be a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine, but they also gonna allow the Jews to build the third temple. The one world system and the economy is gonna start off optional, voluntary, but then it's gonna be by force or you're gonna be excluded out of it. That's the second half of the tribulation. You know what I mean? Uh, One thing that kind of bothered me, Daniel 7:24, how the three horns, it says the one horn comes up and it displaces the other three horns. Now that's difficult right there, but my current thoughts on that is I feel like the 10 nation government is already formed, but I feel like it's the people that got nuclear weapons. You got about 10 nations with nuclear weapons. Do your homework. And South Africa is the 10th. It says that they disassemble they nuclear weapons or whatever. But if they once had them, then they can get them again. If they need to make some more, they can make some more. You know what I mean? But I feel like the 10 nations with nuclear weapons, That's the ten horns. But I believe in the final world empire, I believe it's gonna be some type of confederation between America, the UK, and France. They all got roots in Europe. I feel like they all gonna come together some way, somehow. And then it's gonna be the rest of the nations that form the 10 world empire. Those are just the 10 nations that's at the very top though. But that's just, I could be wrong about that, you know what I'm saying? But that's just where I'm at with that. US, Russia, China, France, UK, Pakistan, India, North Korea, Israel, and then South Africa. So I believe that's the 10 world empire. You know what I'm saying? That's who all got, they all got money and they all got nuclear weapons. Money and weapons, you know what I'm saying? That's what breeds power. You know what I mean? But South Africa dismantled their arsenal before joining the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which is designed to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapons technology and basically work stuff out peacefully. You know what I mean? But hey, if they had them once, they can make the mugs again if they need to. You know what I mean? But to me, that's the 10. I could be wrong, but I look at that as the 10 nation confederacy. And this is before World War III. So, after World War III, I believe it's going to be some type of confederation, some type of coming together with the US, France, and UK. And then, of course, the rest of these nations. And it's going to be a peace treaty. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give Palestine a state. And they're going to allow Israel to build the third temple, the Jews to build the third temple. Another thing, that's just my hypothesis on that. I could be wrong. But another thing that bothered me was the 10 nations and then the whore, the woman, Revelation 17 on top. Now, check this out though. In the Old Testament, the Bible always talks about a whoring, uh, harlotry, any type of sexual immorality. Almost every reference to sexual immorality in the Old Testament, it really have to do with unfaithfulness to God. It really have to do with the nation of Israel serving other gods. So I look at that like, because I feel like the woman on the beast is New York City, but it represents America. But I also feel like America is one of the 10 horns. So then it's like, saying, how can that be? But I feel like the whore represents America built on Christian values, right? But America left God. You know what I mean? So that's the whore. That's Babylon. Babylon is gonna be destroyed in World War III, but America is still gonna be a nation. You know what I'm saying? America is not gonna be wiped out, but Babylon, which represents a city, Revelation 18 is gonna be wiped out, but the nation is still gonna stand, and we're gonna be a part of the final world empire. So that's kind of complicated. Like I said, I'm saying, this is what I come up with. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I believe the whore represents New York City, but it really represents the spiritual condition of America. It represents people turning away from God. We supposed to be a Christian nation. We ain't never been perfect, but we supposed to be a Christian nation. But so many, the majority have ran off on God after other things, right? So that's the spiritual condition of America. But it also represents freedom because it said the 10 horns shall hate the woman. So how can a nation hate itself? But check this out. The woman represents, it represents unfaithfulness to God, right? But it also represents freedom. Because when you give a person freedom, that's what made America America, was freedom. Even though the blacks, we were slaves, we didn't have freedom, but by the grace of God, we got our freedom. You know what I'm saying? But When you have freedom, you can use it for good or evil. So America represents the land of the free, the home of the brave. You know what I'm saying? America represents freedom. But with that freedom, you can walk off on God. So I believe the woman, which is the whore, it represents the freedom of America, but it also represents us walking off on God, serving other gods, going after other gods. But then when it says the 10 horns hate the woman, I believe it's the freedom that they hate, because the one world empire, the people that really rule the world, they don't want you to have freedom. You know what I'm saying? This one world empire is not about freedom. You know, it's a dictatorship. They don't want you to have freedom. The people that's a part of this one world empire, the people that's really calling the shots behind the scenes, it ain't about freedom. You know, they don't want the people to have freedom. They want to bring you into bondage. They want to make you worship their God, which is Satan. But it's not about freedom. They want to force you. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm stretching it, but that's the only thing I could come up with, because I feel like the woman is America, is New York City, is America, but New York represent America as a whole. That's why you got the Statue of Liberty. You know what I'm saying? It represents freedom, but with that freedom, you can walk off on God. You know what I'm saying? But then if America is one of the horns, then how can America hate America? But the people that's behind the conspiracy, the deep state, you know what I'm saying, the people that's really pushing for the one world government, they don't want freedom. You know, they don't want freedom. That you know, they want you to worship their God. You know what I'm saying? That's what dictators do. And if you don't worship their God, you know what I'm saying? That's what the Muslim extremists do. If you don't worship their God, you know what I'm saying? They kill you for it. If you don't become part of that one world system, you're going to be excluded. Can't buy or sell. And if you don't worship that image, you know what I'm saying? It's people who going to die because they refuse to worship the beast or take his mark. You know what I'm saying? It's a force thing. So the people that's really forming this one world government, this one world nation, this one world empire, I should say, it's not about, they don't want you to have freedom. They want to take your freedom away. So that's why they hate America. It's people from within that hate the democracy and the freedom and the liberty of America. And they trying to push for the one world government, the one world empire, which is going to result in not is going to result in not having freedom. It's going to result in your freedom being taken away. So that's the only way I could make that make sense, because the woman represents New York, which represents America, but it represents the freedom of America with which the people left God. And then the horn is part of the one world government. All these people gonna come together and they gonna agree to form this last beast system, final world empire, which is gonna result in people's freedom being taken away. That's why they hate the woman, because she represent democracy, represent freedom, capitalism. You can come up from nothing without having to sell your soul, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But this final world empire, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to get down or lay down. You know what I'm saying? Type type business. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to worship that beast. You're gonna have to worship that dragon. You're gonna have to worship the beast, worship the dragon, worship that image, huh? Yeah, you're gonna have to sell your soul to the state. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to sell yourself to this final world empire. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about freedom. Your freedom gonna be taken away, and you're gonna be forced to do what you don't want to do, or you're gonna have to pay the price. All right, man. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. And that headshot, man. I think that headshot, man. I think that's Revelation 13:3, man. I think that was Revelation 13:3, right before our eyes. I could be wrong, and I had the dream where he got shot, and I couldn't see the person, but I felt like it was Donald Trump, but it was a deadly headshot. The one I seen in my dream, it was a deadly headshot. Like you out of there. But what actually happened in real life was close to that, but it wasn't the same. But I think that was the headshot. I could be wrong. I could be what whatever they call it, fanaticism or whatever. But I think that was the headshot, bro. I think that I think that was the wound by a sword, and he did live. He suffered the wound by a sword and did live. Hey, I think that was it, bro. I think that was it. Revelation 13:3 and what four? Hey, I'm telling you, man. Revelation 13:3 and yeah, Revelation 13:3 and then Revelation 13:12 and Revelation 14. I think that was the headshot, bro. I could be wrong, but I think that was the headshot, man. Uh yeah. And then Revelation 17:8, when it said the beast that was and is not and yet is, I think that's the one world kingdom. Babel was the first and only one world kingdom. Everybody was on the same page. And God broke that up. And now everything is coming back together. It's going to be a one world empire once again. You got Babel, Genesis 11. Then you got Old Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. Then you got current Babylon or New Babylon or Mystery Babylon, which is America, but it's going, which is New York City representing America, but it's going to all converge into this final world empire, the beast system. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong, but that's my hypothesis. And what you're gonna have to do is watch. Don't be so idle. Don't idolize nobody because it's gonna blind you. That what the Bible say. Watch and pray because everybody gonna have predictions. We think it's this person. We think it's that person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have a suspicions, predictions, speculations. You know what I mean? And everybody gonna suspect. Humanity been doing this, anticipating and guessing about who the Antichrist is and all that. But what you really got to do is you gonna have to really stay with God. Your relationship with God gonna have to really be real. You have to really walk with God, and you got to really watch and see what's going on. But you can't idolize nobody. You can't idolize nobody. The only person who ain't gonna change on you, guaranteed not to change or switch up on you, is God, is Jesus, the same yesterday, today, and forever. You know what I mean? But don't idolize nobody because when the stuff start happening, you won't even recognize it because you done idolize this person and put so much confidence and faith in this person. But you gotta know them by their fruits. So Trump is not saved. Just know that. And you know, a person that ain't saved, a saved person can do some weird stuff out of character. So think about an unsaved person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, you gonna really have to watch. Don't idolize nobody. Don't put nobody on no pedestal. Oh, he would never. Hey, you better watch. Stay close to God. Stay in your word. Stay prayed up. Stay on your fasting and watch. And watch. Because all this stuff gonna unfold. But as of right now, I think Trump the Antichrist. And I'm watching. Jesus.